What's going on, guys? Chad here with Greenlight Shooting. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking Powertac. So this is the Powertac E9R-G4. So this is our Gen 4 of this light. Man, it's a really nice light, but let me start this by saying I've done a video with Powertac before. It's been quite a few years, but I did do one. They reached out again and said, we've updated the lights and things like that. Let's get some into your hands and see what you think. I've done a couple light videos recently, so I've got sort of what's out there like in my head pretty well to be able to compare this to. And let me start off by saying I'm very, very pleased with this light for a lot of reasons. Number one, a lot of the lights that have been sent to me recently, I feel like they're all sort of in the same vein. They all kind of have the same features, and there's a couple features about this one that I think really make it stand out. So first up, as I mentioned, this is the E9R. R, I'm sure, stands for rechargeable. So the thing runs on either two CR123 batteries or one 18650. It has a magnetic charger right here that just snaps on. That's really nice. It tells you when it's done charging, and then you can also move this out of the way and use a micro USB to charge this thing. Specs wise, we are looking at a maximum of 2,550 lumens in their turbo mode, which is super freaking bright, like plenty bright. But they have a bunch of different modes. It goes down to like Firefly, and then low, medium, high, turbo, and then there is a strobe mode as well. In terms of runtime, they are saying there's a max of a 1,200 hour runtime. Now I'm sure that's at that Firefly mode, but at turbo mode, so the brightest the thing will go, it'll still run for 2 hours on a full charge. So we're looking at 197 meter throw, a 2 meter impact resistance, and then it's IPX8 waterproof and submersible up to 2 meters. And then lastly, on the specs side of things is they have this little LED light right here, which is dope. It tells you when you're starting to run low on battery. It'll tell you if you start to get a 30% battery, it'll be red, 10% it starts flashing red. That's something that I really like, is like a visual indicator of how much battery I have left. I really like that because, like, I don't really charge these things every day. I just kind of use the lights when I need them, and I'll notice that, like, I'll go and turn it on, and I only have one other light that has like a battery indicator, and that's the one I always reach for because I don't know if the other ones are ever charged. So I love having something that'll tell me if I've got enough battery to do what I need it to do. So that's it for sort of the specs section. Now let's talk about some different features. We have 2 buttons on this thing, one rear button, one smaller top button here on the back. Rear button functions like most all flashlights. Push it in all the way, and you've got a continuous light. Push it in halfway and hold it, and you've got a light that'll stay on while you're adding pressure. And then you've got this other secondary button. Push this thing all the way on, push that secondary button, and that's how you're going to cycle through the different brightness modes. All that is pretty standard for most flashlights I've seen. The thing that I like the very most about this light, the thing that sets it apart for me, this is a tactical channel. We're thinking about these lights in terms of tactical uses. This secondary button, if you just push this while the light is off, you get a direct to strobe function. That's huge. If you think about it, a lot of these other lights are like, you turn it on, you have to cycle through different modes to get to strobe. We all know strobe is extremely important when you're in those tactical scenarios. I talked to these guys about this light a couple times, and one thing that they did say is they sell a ton of these to law enforcement agencies. And the reason is because, like I said, if you're trying to control a suspect as a law enforcement officer and you're having to cycle through these things to get to your strobe to be able to control your suspect, like, it's useless. You're in the heat of the moment. You're not going to be able to cycle through these modes and think about how this thing works. You just need one button that goes straight to strobe. Same thing with like a home intruder. If you're just someone at home, you don't want to think about how to get this thing to strobe. You don't want to have to turn your light on, give away a position, cycle through modes until you're on strobe, turn it off, and you know what I mean? Like, straight to strobe. That's 100% the biggest thing that is setting this light apart for me across all platforms in terms of tactical use. Now, the other things that are making this a little bit more of a tactical light than your standard flashlight, number one, it's an extremely aggressive knurling on this thing. I personally like that. I have really sweaty hands. I need to get a good grip on my lights. This thing has a lot of texture on it, but beyond someone with sweaty hands, you need a way to be able to hold on to this thing and know that it's not slipping out of your hands. So I like that. I also like the fact that they've got a striking bezel here. A lot of those lights, you'll just see a flat bezel right here on the edge. If this thing is being used, again, in a tactical manner, you've got your gun out, you've now a non-lethal way to attack a suspect, as well as, lethal with your firearm. So I love the fact that they've added the striking bezel. And then besides that, we've got sort of the normal things in terms of a heavy duty, nice clip. We've got a little rotating clip for a lanyard that it comes with. It also comes with a little holster here as well. There are additional accessories for this guy. You've got one to be able to mount it on your firearm. You've got a remote pressure switch. You've got filters here to be able to, you know, shine different lights and things like that. So it's really a purpose-built tactical flashlight in all of those senses. Last thing I want to talk about is the craftsmanship of this thing. It is extremely well built. I did talk to these guys and they don't hide the fact that these things are made in China, but they're not made in China in the sense of they hop on a website, order some pre-made flashlight, throw their logo on it and call it good. These guys own the factory and they are an American company, and they take a lot of pride in getting the patents and in really innovating this thing and making it a true, good, high quality flashlight. They take pride in, you know, treating their employees well and just going the extra steps. Like I said, they're not just drop shipping these lights out of somewhere in China. Like, they're really putting their time and effort into making a good flashlight, and I think it shows here, man. But yeah, man, this is certainly the light that I'm going to be reaching for in most instances. I'm a big fan of all those different features that I mentioned. The last thing, and really one of the most important things, is the fact that these guys have a hassle-free lifetime warranty. That's huge. A lot of similar flashlights like this have either like a 5-year warranty or they have a limited lifetime warranty where they're not covering things like the light itself. These guys are 100% committed to making sure you're happy with this. If anything goes wrong with it, they've got you completely covered with their lifetime warranty. So really, I've got nothing but good things to say about this light. It checks every single mark for me. That being said, the price is going to be reflected a little bit in this light. This thing is currently selling for about $130. So, I mean, it's not crazy, but it's certainly not a cheap light either. It's a good light. It's a light that's going to last you a long time, and if anything happens to it, it's a light that they're going to stand behind and replace for you with their lifetime warranty. So I think that's all super dope. It's a company that you know, you can feel good about getting behind. Like I said, I personally talked to these guys multiple times, and you can tell that they're good guys that really believe in their product and want to keep innovating and pushing forward in the industry. So big fan of all that. If you want to check them out, there's a link down in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you were down for the ride, and I'll see you next time on Greenlight Shooting. Peace out.